Hello, and welcome to this Hellenic American Union Centre for Examinations and Certifications presentation focusing on how to prepare to write an article for the C2 level Michigan Language Assessment examination for the Certificate of Proficiency in English. In this presentation, we will take a look at the format and specifications for writing an article. We will discuss the preparation needed based on the assessment criteria, and I will share some useful tips with you. The examination for the Certificate of Proficiency in English, ECPE, is a standardized 4-skill English test at the high advanced level of the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, CEFR C2. It is a secure exam developed by Michigan Language Assessment and administered by authorized test centers worldwide. Let's first take a look at the format and specifications of the ECPE writing section. In this part of the writing test, candidates are asked to choose between two tasks and write either an article or a proposal in task 1 or an essay in task 2. They should write about 2 A4 pages and have 45 minutes to do so. Today, we will of course be talking about writing an article. Whichever type candidates choose to write on, they will always have to evaluate multiple viewpoints, include their own opinion, and include at least one of the visual prompts provided. Talking about the visual prompts, this is an example of what they look like. They can appear in the form of a graph, diagram, pie chart, figures, plus a quote by someone related to the topic. Again, candidates are expected to integrate at least one into their writing. Now, let's take a look at a sample topic for an article. Task 1. Article. For their critical review assignment, students at Rosewood High School can now write about movies, series, and even video games, not just literary novels. Some teachers and students think this is not a good idea. Write an article for a student magazine about the effects of setting assignments in which students can write about audio-visual entertainment, that is, series, movies, and video games, instead of books, and give your opinion about this policy. Include at least one piece of information given above to support your response. The way topics for the writing section are structured usually follows the following structure. There is a situation, a reference to multiple viewpoints, a task instruction, and a source instruction. The situation usually impacts a large number of people. The reference to multiple viewpoints means what people think. The task instruction means who the audience is and what needs to be discussed, plus the candidate's own opinion. And the source instruction means the visual information provided, knowing that the candidates must integrate at least one into their writing. When reading an article, whether it be in a newspaper or a magazine or an online blog, readers want to be informed but also entertained. In order to make their article more entertaining, candidates can address their readers directly with the second personal pronoun, you. And they shouldn't shy away from using cliches or less common figurative expressions or even their own original metaphors. Repetitions, shorter and longer sentences, exclamation marks or dashes. As long as these things work and make their writing sound good, they should feel free to use language that is creative and stylish, as well as clear and logical. They should put themselves into their article and use their own voice. They can also share their own experiences and their sense of humour. The golden rule is, the more entertaining their article, the more likely it is to influence their reader's opinion, which is exactly what articles are supposed to do. Now, let's take a look at some frequently asked questions. Are test takers allowed to make a plan or an outline? Of course. Actually, they can write anything they want in their test booklet, and it is not assessed. They don't need to bring their own paper. Are they writing their response in the test booklet? No. They are given a writing section answer sheet, and anything they write in their test booklet will not be assessed. How many words should they write? Well, actually, counting words might be distracting, and it is certainly not necessary. That's why Michigan Language Assessment does not suggest a particular number of words for the ECPE writing. Candidates should write about 2 A4 pages. Should there be a title? It's not necessary. You can include one, but you don't have to. What happens if a test taker does not finish his or her response? Well, there are 4 assessment criteria based on which the 2 raters assign their scores. There are several parameters involved in assessment, and not completing the response does not mean that the test taker will fail this section. They may actually get a high score even with an incomplete response. Now, let's take a look at the assessment criteria to take into consideration when preparing for the writing section of the ECPE. There are 4 criteria assessed by Michigan Language Assessment raters. Writing section answers are assessed by 2 raters independently, each of whom awards a maximum of 20 points as follows: up to 5 points for task completion, up to 5 points for development, up to 7 points for language, and up to 3 points for authorial voice. Now, let's take a look at what is assessed in each criterion. Task completion means relevance to the task, consideration of multiple viewpoints along with the writer's opinion, and integration of at least one visual prompt in the response. Development means development of strong arguments, meaningful information flow, that is, organization and connection of ideas. Language is the demonstration of a good range of grammar and vocabulary used accurately. An authorial voice means content, originality, and reader engagement. Now, regarding integrating one of the sources, there are a few things to remember. The visual information is always relevant to the topic area. Only one of the visuals is required, but more can be used, provided that they are used correctly, of course. The important criterion for the assessment is how the source is incorporated into the text and not just its presence there. The source can be incorporated without following any specific conventions. And in order to integrate the sources effectively, the visual information used should be attributed to the provided sources. The content of the visual information can either be quoted or paraphrased. And the content of the visual information should be integrated meaningfully into the text. Candidates preparing for the ECPE should be reminded that at C2 level, which is the highest level of the CEFR, they should be able to produce clear, smooth, complex responses, consider multiple perspectives, distinguish original ideas and opinions from those in the sources, display a variety of organizational patterns, provide an effective and logical structure, maintain consistent grammatical control, convey finer shades of meaning, use vocabulary accurately, and have a broad lexical repertoire. Before we finish, let's take a look at some useful steps to follow in the writing section of the ECPE. Before you start writing, listen to the instructions the examiner gives you. Then choose the task you feel more comfortable with. Make sure you fully understand it, that you have some ideas about it, and that you have the vocabulary to express your ideas. Then read again the chosen task and underline keywords. Then make an outline. Then during writing, write your introduction first. Describe the task using your own words, that is, paraphrase instead of copying from the task. At the end of the introduction, give the reader an idea of what is going to follow. For example, you can write your opinion briefly. Then start each main body paragraph with a topic sentence, that is, the summary of the paragraph. Then analyze and support your ideas using arguments and examples. Write your conclusion, that is, rewrite your opinion and main points, and end your response smoothly. That can be done with a wish. After writing, make sure you proofread your response. Edit your writing and make sure you have darkened the circle that corresponds to the task you have chosen on the cover page of your writing section answer sheet. For further practice, you know you can use the Hellenic American Union publications, such as our practice test books, and you may also want to use our skills books to target specific sections of the ECPE test, such as the new Build Up Your Writing and Speaking Skills for the ECPE. If you have any questions, you can always visit our website at hau.gr or contact us at exams@hau.gr. Thank you for watching, and remember to sign up for our upcoming live webinars for more information and tips on the exams administered by the Hellenic American Union. Thank you, and goodbye.